All right, welcome back to the channel, folks. So today we got another recipe that we're gonna do up for you. So if you remember on the previous episode, I ended up making Cornish hens. So a lot of times, sometimes the family doesn't eat everything up, so we have to repurpose. So what we're gonna do is, instead of having to throw food out, you can always add it and make it into a totally separate dish. So today I'm gonna take this Cornish hen and I'm gonna turn it into a little bit of fried rice. So we're gonna shoot this straight through, so pretty much just kind of sit back, enjoy, and watch how we do everything up. All right? So I've already washed my rice off. Please rinse your rice to get a little bit of that starch off before you start up. So what I'm doing is I've already taken my rice, washed it like I said before. So what I'm using is about 2 cups of rice. So what I've kind of found as far as a good ratio is, for every cup of rice that you're doing, you can do about 1.5 cups of water. And what we want to do is we want to go ahead and get the water up to a boil, which is what we already have right now. Once the water is up boiling, all you need to do is just go ahead and put your lid on, turn it down to low, and let the water absorb straight into the rice. That way you'll have a good mixture off of it. So while the rice is over there doing this thing, I'm gonna take the hen and I'm just gonna start breaking it apart to use for our meat. So like I said, everything you can do to repurpose it. You can take this Cornish hen and make fried rice. You can make tacos with it, quesadillas with it. You could repurpose it and use it for pasta, pretty much almost anything that you want to use. So the choice is all yours. But that's why I like a lot of times the diversity of it. And as you can see, it really doesn't take too long to do. Keep breaking this on up. I'm kind of keeping an eye over there on my rice to make sure I don't get it to boiling over. So it should just take just a couple of minutes for it, the temperature just to go down just a little bit, so we can kind of do our thing with it. So when doing a lot of times, like I said, flavor is basically up to you and your family. So for me, I'm using some minced onion with this. I'm gonna use a little bit of garlic with it, a little bit of garlic salt. I'm using some ginger, salt, pepper, red pepper. And of course for the vegetables, the only thing that I'm gonna do with the vegetables is I'm just gonna use the peas and carrots. But you can always add certain things, like some people like cauliflower, broccoli, any type of vegetables that you like. And you don't necessarily have to use any type of meat with it at all. I'm just utilizing this because it was already cooked, and just to kind of get rid of it, since everyone's already eating their hens, is to go ahead and just convert it into another meal. Now, as you're gonna see, since we're shooting straight through with this, it actually doesn't take any time at all to get done. Now, this is something that can easily be cooked. Say for instance, kids getting out of school, you getting off of work, you're kind of tired, you really don't feel like getting up trying to cook a long meal, then this is something that would be quite easy. It's something that you can actually do under 30 minutes. The longest part of this process is actually waiting on the rice to get completely done. Once it does this thing, then everything else kind of goes through a lot faster. So I'm gonna keep breaking this on out till we get it done. And you can also take this and make you a chicken salad with it also, for whatever you have remaining over. So the main thing is you don't want to make sure that you don't have entirely too much meat compared to the amount of rice. But as you'll see, once that water begins to absorb all the way in the rice, exactly how much it rises up. And when we get ready to throw it in our wok, you'll see how all this turns out. Now, if you don't have a wok at home, that's perfectly fine. I've done it in a skillet before. I've actually done it in a large pot before also. So just do whatever you can to make sure it works for you in your house. And so I wouldn't necessarily go out buying any extra appliances or anything unless it's totally needed. If it's not needed, don't even worry about it. All right, so we almost got enough meat out of this hen to do what we need to do. Stay with me. And I'm probably just gonna go back until I fill this bowl completely up, and then once I get it filled up, I'll have enough for what I need for this purpose. And then anything that I have left over as far as the meat remaining, just gonna turn it into a small little salad. Just about done here. Let's see what we got. We're almost close, and actually, I think I reached over and dropped chicken in. I'm about to need to check this rice in just a minute. But as you can see from the camera, I believe you should be able to see how it's not steaming up as much as it was prior. Like I said, you really want to go from as soon as you get a boil, and then just immediately turn it all the way down low. And if you have a rice cooker, that works perfectly fine. Also, I do know those do take a bit longer than actually just boiling it. So for the type of rice that I'm using, I'm actually using long grain white rice. A lot of times when you're doing fried rice, it's normally better to use jasmine rice. But to make it a little bit more cost effective, we're just utilizing regular white rice. That, and as much as I have in the house, I need to go ahead and try to utilize it a little bit more also. So like a lot of the Asian dishes, you know, whether it's anything utilizing rice to fry it or making certain things like sushi, I'll generally use jasmine rice. If you're making any type of Indian foods, Arabic foods, I normally recommend going ahead and using basmati. All right, so I have enough now. All right, so have that going. I think we're about ready now. Already had my towel over to the side. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and check on this rice, see what we have going on with it. All right. So as you can see, the water's pretty much just about completely absorbed in it. It's actually almost completely ready to go. let that finish steaming. And while it's doing its thing, we can go ahead and start getting everything ready to go ahead and start cooking the rice. So generally, getting ready to start out doing fried rice, I'll go ahead and get my egg fried up first, go ahead and get my vegetables to cooking before I even get ready to add the rice into it. So I'll go ahead and get my wok on medium high. I'll go ahead and pour a little bit of vegetable oil in. Get the bottom of that coated up. And like I said, this is a great meal idea to do, especially when you're coming home from work. So like I said, it's something that can be done fairly quickly. It takes little to no time. So as you can see, pretty much got one full bowl of Cornish hen that I've already kind of shredded up by hand. And I'm just getting my spices ready. So as soon as that oil heats up enough, we'll be ready to go. So the process is going to be fairly simple. We're going to throw the eggs in. We're going to get those fried up. Once they're almost completely fried up, I'm going to go ahead and put my peas and carrots in. So you can use fresh peas and carrots, you can use them canned, or you can use them frozen. So whatever your preference is, that's what you're going to use. I have a little bit of minced garlic over here that I'm utilizing also. All right. So I think we're about heated up enough now. So let's go ahead and get this started so you guys can kind of see exactly how fast this goes. Got my egg in. Got it frying up. And I'm gonna go ahead and add my vegetables in also. Trust me, folks, eventually I'm going to learn to quit going back and forth across the camera. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of minced garlic into this. Right. Go ahead and get my eggs scrambled up. Vegetables doing their thing on their side. Now for myself, I don't normally add a lot of my spices in until I actually get the rice in. Alright. And all of that put to the side. So now, you can see, rice is ready to go. We'll go ahead and add that into this. And turn it completely off. get going. We're going to start adding everything into it. Add some salt. And onion. Add a little bit of garlic powder to it. A little bit of ginger. Pepper to it. Rice. Keep it up. Make sure you continue to keep scooping towards the bottom. We'll go ahead and add our hand into it. Go ahead and start adding our soy sauce. A little bit more black pepper. All right, we're almost done. All right, everybody. Get ready to take a look at this. And I'll be ready to feed my family in just a second. All right, so you guys take look at this. Like I said, add as much meat into it as you want, add as much vegetable into it as you want. I'm going to actually take the rest of this Cornish hen over here. I'm actually going to make it into something else. So what do you think about this? You can see, folks, everything has already been done up. Eggs, vegetables, rice, everything into it. So like I said, it's something quick, easy that you can do coming straight from home, just using a little bit of leftovers. So if you got any questions, please comment below, like, subscribe, comment on the video. You got any ideas, let me know. Thanks for coming to the kitchen.